everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be trying some products that are, well, it's a full face of nearly first impression. Some of these things I've only tried like once or twice, or I've just swatched them and things, but most of them you probably won't have seen me use. So let's get straight into it. I'm going to go in with, if you saw my last video then you probably would have seen that I hauled a few like Jeffree star bits and stuff like that, and I also got this Ardell Photoface matte foundation, so that's what we're going to use today. I have used it once before and I found like it was a little bit drying, so I'm going to stick some on a Real Techniques. This is a Expert foundation brush. And I like to kind of concentrate the product in the centre of my face and then blend it out. I would say this is a, sorry, I've got my mirror like right, got my mirror just off to the side of me. My hair is a mess. I tried to curl it. My face is dry as fuck. Yesterday I was up at 3:30 in the morning to go to Paris for a job, which was the nicest, easiest, like, oh my god, I had one shot to do in some nice like location house, about 25 minutes drive outside of Paris, and it was so nice. But my skin is kind of wrecked from travelling and being up super early. I didn't drink much water or anything yesterday either, so I prepped my skin with a load of moisturiser and stuff, and I actually put like a dewy kind of base on. I used I moisturised twice actually, so I put some of the Make a Difference Plus rejuvenating treatment. This is the Origins one. I put a little bit of that on and then I kind of waited 20 minutes while my camera and stuff was charging, and then I put it on again. What I would say about this foundation is that if you are fairly, my skin's a little bit on the drier side at the moment, if you have a fairly normal skin type, then this is a nice natural matte finish. If you are on the dry side, you're gonna hate this. I wouldn't say it like sinks into lines or anything like that. It doesn't look really powdery or gross on the skin, certainly not on my skin. I did have a little bit of flakiness on the nose at one point in the last week or so, and that definitely was exacerbated a little bit. But as I've explained, I've only worn it once, and actually what I would say is that if you do want a foundation that is medium to full coverage, buildable, but still looks quite skin-like and will not slide off the face, this is the one. It wore really well on me. I didn't powder it at all. I powdered underneath my eyes a little bit, just where I added concealer and things. But the actual foundation stayed looking the same, if not got slightly better. Where my normal natural kind of oils came in later in the day, it made it sit even more nicely. So this isn't a first impression, as I said. I have worn it once for a full day. I really like it. The packaging's really convenient. It looks like skin. As I said though, if you're dry, I don't recommend at all. If you're normal or oily, then I would definitely have a bit of a go with this. It is kind of like a liquid to powder texture, but it doesn't look powdery on the skin. The next thing I'm going to do is, and I haven't tried these, but I've swatched them. This is the Jouer Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer. Creaseless Soft Matte Hyaluronic Acid, so these are supposed to be quite moisturising. I have these shades Creme Brulee and Creme Cafe. I'm going to put a little bit of the lighter one. Actually zoomed you in a little bit. This, whoa, that's quite a lot, isn't it? I don't know how this is going to spread. I'm going to put a little bit on my chin and a little bit here. I don't know if you can see, but where my skin is slightly dry at the moment and I had frown lines, it's kind of settled in there. I'm then going to use like a teeny weeny bit of the darker colour. And I'm just, whoa, this is full coverage concealer. And what I'm seeing so far is that this blends out really nicely. Bearing in mind this is really full coverage, I'm not seeing it look super unnatural on the skin. You can, I mean, obviously you're going to be able to tell that I'm wearing makeup because I am. But this foundation and concealer combo really doesn't, it's not looking cakey. These are really, really nice, and I can imagine they're not creasing, they're not tacky or anything, they've covered really well, but they don't, and they've dried down, but they don't feel like they're kind of drying. I would say these are really nice, and I actually can't wait to maybe get a few more colours for my pro kit. I think these would be really good if you've got someone with really great skin. You could maybe just mix with a little bit of moisturiser and kind of just get the T-zone and stuff and blend into their actual skin for a really natural kind of dewy look. But also I think on mature skins these might be really nice because they're a little bit more moisturising, but I don't actually feel like they're going to move at all either. I'm going to quickly go do my brows off camera. I'm going to use my usual combo of the Makeup Aqua Brow, and I'll probably use the Revolution pencil in the colour, I think it's dark brown, that I use as well. So I'm going to do that off camera real quick. Right, now that we have done the brows, they are not perfect. I'm going to be using another Ardell colour. I've only swatched these, I haven't actually used these on my face. This is the Ardell Vacay Mode Bronzer, and they come in several different shades. The one I have here is, this is Lucky and Lust and Rustic Tan. As I said in my previous video, I really like the fact that you've got more of a golden tone and you've got more of a red base tone. You can kind of mix the two together. I just feel like, and that's what I'm going to do, I just feel like that's going to give you the most natural tan. So I'm just going to get all of my hair out of the way and start bronzing up the face. I don't know why I'm looking super, super pale from what I can see in the viewfinder, and actually in person I have a bit of a tan still right now. So what I will say is that this is blending really nicely. The brush I'm using is a Vela U brush. These I think are my favourite fucking brushes, and you can actually get them from eBay. I will try and leave a link below. They're a brand I had never heard of before, but they are so soft. They wash really beautifully, really reasonably priced. Take a little bit down the sides of my nose. So that blended really nicely over that foundation. That brush is just like one of my all-time favourite brushes. I will try and leave a link down below, as I said. So nice. It looks natural. I'm struggling to see because I feel like my skin has like a nice sheen to it, and I don't know whether like this perhaps is not entirely matte. I can't see any shimmer or anything in it, but you know when something's like more of a satin, so it just leaves a little bit of a natural, don't know if you can see that on the camera. Really, really like this. They do it in a couple of other shades as well. Really, really like that. The next couple of things that I have to show you are Jeffree Star ones, and this is kind of like the main show. Here I have the Thirsty palette. You will have seen me pick this up in my last haul. This is what it looks like inside. It's got a giant mirror. I'm probably going to do like a really nice neutral but smoked out with a winged liner styly today, and then we're going to go in with some Ardell Wispies. I don't normally wear lashes, but everyone else seems to, so I'm gonna make it happen today. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with Layin Low. This is a paint pot from MAC. This is absolutely not a new product to me. I love the MAC paint pots. If you can't afford MAC paint pots, then I would have a look at the Maybelline 24-hour Eye Studio Cream Shadows. They come in pots exactly like this. They have a few kind of nice bronzy colours, they have colours, And they also have a colour that's really similar to a soft ochre from MAC. So my base is sorted, and then I'm going to zoom you in a little bit just so that you can see better what I'm going to do to my eyes. So I'm going to treat this like any other eyeshadow day. And the first thing I'm going to do is go in with a big fluffy brush. I'm going to do one eye and then I'll do the other eye off camera. So I'm just going to work on this eye for you guys. I'm going to go in with the colour Parched, which is closest to my skin colour, and I'm just going to dust that all over the eye right up to the brow, and this is just going to give us a nice base. Next thing I'm going to do is go in with Kumquat, which is this kind of orangey-ish brown shade, kind of like a peanut butter shade. I'm going to use that same brush. Though I haven't actually used this yet, I've just kind of swatched some of the cut. Wow, that blends out so nicely. My eyebrows need a bit of a pluck, so if you're seeing that right now, ignore it, I'm aware. That's pretty. I'm really impressed. They're really, really soft shadows. I think I'm going to go in with a little bit of the colour Subtle. I just don't want this to be like too warm. Oh, these blend so nicely. I really kind of thought that that was one of the colours that I was just not going to reach for, because it's quite a, I want to say it's cool toned, but because everything else is so warm, I don't actually think it is cool toned. I think it's quite neutral. Now for the fun bit, I actually think I'm going to cut the crease today. You have never seen me do this. I'm going to actually go in with the Colourpop No Filter Concealer and a brush now. I just like to use that little Catrice one because it kind of comes with like a little wand, and I just find that's easy to basically get like a little basic shape down. Okay, so while my camera overheated, I actually just went and did exactly the same on the other eye. So we have a cut crease now. Back to the eyes. So I think what I'm gonna do now is put one of these glitters on. I think I'm gonna go for Plunge, which is this kind of deep bronzy colour. Or I'm just going to use a brush to take that up to my cut crease line. Then I'm going to use like a really small brush just to use the deepest shade, which is Drizzle, this one. And I'm just going to darken up that cut crease. I'm actually going to take one of these, I think this one, just to lighten it up a little bit. I think that was actually too dark. There we go. Oh, that's better. This is the colour Filthy Rich, which I am not, but you know, we'll get there. I'm going to take the MAC 221 and I'm going to take a little bit of Subtle mixed with this Kumquat colour, and we're going to put that underneath the eye. There is glitter everywhere. If you were using these glitter shades, A, use a glitter glue, which I did not do, and B, maybe leave your concealer and stuff till after. Just going to go back in and clean up. I have just applied the Ardell Demi Wispies. No, not the Demi Wispies, the Wispies. The eyes are not perfect, I realise. I feel like I kind of cocked up on like what colour I put on the lid colour first. Also, cut creases is not what I tend to do. So, it's something that I've been getting more requests for and stuff when I do other people's makeup. I think it's more difficult on yourself, weirdly, because you can get someone to just close their eyes and then leave it. So these might not be perfect. So my camera overheated, so while you were away I added a little bit more of that really dark brown to the lash line, put some mascara on, and I popped some lashes on. The lashes that I'm using are the Ardell wispies, not the demi wispies, the wispies. They're just a little bit longer all throughout, rather than having more of that kind of fanned out shape, which I think is really pretty. So I'm going to zoom you out and then we're going to go and finish the rest of the face. So I don't normally wear highlight, but I really wanted to try this. This is the Ofra mini highlighter in Rodeo Drive. It's a really pretty gold colour. I'm nervous because I don't really do highlight because I think it looks, I mean, let's face it, like the look I have on right now is not subtle. But whoa. That is like blinding. Should I do what everyone else does and just like put it on the nose? I don't get this nose, I really don't understand the nose thing, I have to say. Soz, but I don't. I need some blush because I feel like I still look a little bit like pale. Some lip gloss or something as well. Do you know what? I'm going to do my lips first because I just feel like I look dead right now. I'm not going to use something new. This is like a really old favourite. So this is the Revlon lip gloss in Nude Lustre. Is that enough colour on the lips? I think it's probably enough colour on the lips. What do we reckon? Right, let's go in for blush. Something that's not that new but you don't see me use very often is my Tarte palette. This is the Bling It On Amazonian Clay Blush palette. You've got all of these in here, so I think we'll go for a mixture of these two. We cannot, obviously, you've got to go in with the setting spray. The one that I really like at the moment is the Revolution Pro Fix one. So this was my full face of nearly first impressions. A couple of bits aren't kind of new to me, but you might not have seen them. Standouts for me. Really like this palette. The only thing I would say, the mattes are beautiful. Obviously I haven't used like the colours. These metals are really stunning, but what I would say is like I would maybe try and put down a glitter glue first and definitely use your finger. I don't recommend using a brush with them, and it requires a little bit of cleanup underneath. However, they do look stunning on the eye. I am kind of curious to know if they would actually work better if you used a stiff brush and some Fix Plus. So as I didn't try that, I'm just gonna have a go. I'm gonna use the colour Divine, I think, and just see what happens. This might go on much better. Yeah, so you might get a better finish and a little bit of a better time using them, not as much fallout and stuff. Just the glittery shadows if you use a little bit of Fix Plus on the brush. I mean, they go on the eyes really nicely, but I have been left with like quite a bit of glitter underneath. Now, as I said, I tried a brush first. It's kind of trial and error. That's my fault. It does go on much better with a finger, but as I have just realised, maybe a little bit of Fix Plus would be your best bet. Highlighter is beautiful. I feel like you could make this super blinding, but you could also kind of leave it a little bit more subtle. It's a beautiful kind of champagne colour. I think it would look really nice on most skin tones. Really impressed with the bronzer. It's that nice kind of natural tan look, would be good for multiple skin tones as well. I really like the red tone of this. Also weirdly really impressed with the foundation. It is quite matte, as I said. Don't recommend it for drier skin tones. I guess you could actually use like an oil or something underneath and it might look really beautiful. Perfect like packaging and stuff. Super handy squeezy tube, would be really nice for traveling. What I would say though, I was kind of looking at it as a dupe for the Chanel Perfection Lumia, the one that is basically in the packaging like this. Is more of a water-based foundation though. This is a thicker consistency, dries, good buildable medium to full coverage, I would say. Nice kind of natural matte finish, almost like a liquid to powder, but it doesn't look super powdery on the skin. What I would say is that the two are similar, but I would say this one is more matte than the Chanel, and also has less of a liquidy texture. Really impressed with the Jouer Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealers. Will definitely be getting more colours to put in my pro kit. Really like these. Beautifully blended on the skin, dries to a really nice texture. As you can see, like, I haven't put any powder on my face and I feel like it just looks like I have a nice glow. Obviously this makeup is much heavier than I would normally wear on a daily basis, but again, all of the products today, pretty impressed with, to be honest. Nothing that I hate or wouldn't use again. All of this stuff probably you'll see in more upcoming videos. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you have. Let me know if you've tried any of these products and what you think of them, and I will see you in the next one. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already part of the Jane's family, and I will see you very soon. Okay, love you. Bye.